Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing okay and staying safe these days. I want to do a quick follow-up review of the Roccat Vulcan 121 IMO keyboard, mechanical keyboard, RGB keyboard as well too, gaming keyboard, and everything else that pretty much goes along with this device. I've had the pleasure of actually using this for a couple of weeks now, feels like a couple of months. Been using this more in a home setting. You may have actually seen my follow-up review of the 122, basically the same design and keyboard, just a different color. Been using more at a workplace, so definitely a lot more typing, writing emails, and updating tickets there, etc., etc. So this over here I've actually been using more for gaming setting, and other home tasks as well too, such as social media, writing emails as well too, and just typing about a bunch of jib jab to other people. And absolutely amazing keyboard to have used for all those particular functions and tasks. Absolutely durable. The low profile keycaps really make this keyboard an amazing bright design. Does give you many options in the software, and of course, what can I say about the durability? Once again, you can actually see here when I actually do press down on the keys, you actually try to flex the keyboard from the sides. Put a little bit of force here, but not too much, obviously. Some cheapy keyboards, such as $20, $25 like keyboards that come with your usual everyday computer or workplace computer, will probably just flex a little bit. And of course, when I shake this, you actually don't even hear any keycaps rattling anywhere. So really just a little testimony there of just how amazing this thing is. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in, give you a little bit more of the ins and outs of the software, and of course the wonderful LEDs that make this keyboard really shine out. And here's the keyboard here in a custom RGB setting here. Everything's blue, but the arrow keys are actually just lit up white. That's just a little personal preference I have right now. I actually usually do keep the lights off on this here. And here's the removable armrest right over here, held by magnets. Little small short story regarding this. I did actually have an issue with this particular armrest right over here. This was a little bit inverted to some degree, so you can actually feel it moving your hands back and forth, or just basically your everyday typing. It was actually driving me nuts a little bit, so I did let Roccat know about it, and they of course sent me a replacement after demonstrating what the issue was and showing all the usual paperwork, proof of purchase, etc., etc. So in here I actually do have the bad defective armrest, which I won't be using anymore, but I hung onto the box just to go ahead and demonstrate that to you guys. Another little thing I want to just note real quick as well too about this keyboard that I hope does get changed is basically using the other keyboard in the workplace, and of course locking this one, or to actually hit Control Delete and just hit the lock option in a Windows computer. You will actually see the traditional rainbow color here kicking in, and not any custom setting you may have it actually set on. That's a little bit of a software issue and a little bit of a turn off, and I really do hope some future software issue will go ahead and fix that. I just basically unlock the computer, and just like that, back to your regular color. So just a little thing to keep in mind, and this actually does also occur when turning the computer off and on as well too. Not a deal breaker, but just something for them to make a note of. Let me go ahead and just give you a quick keycap sound test right over here. I'll go ahead and just type a little bit slower than usual. And here we have the Swarm software open up for all Roccat products. You can actually see here my mouse, my Kone IMO is actually up here as well too. The mouse that I did a review on as well too. And here's our keyboard here. Here you can actually set up some very interesting custom designs in terms of color LEDs, and you do not actually have to click on each key to actually go ahead and create a design. So let me just show you a really cool trick here. And actually, let's see if we can be a little patriotic and actually set this up in a particular way. I'm gonna go ahead and pick some colors. And of course, you could probably already tell quite possibly what I'm doing here. I'll see this, how fast I can actually do this. So it really does help to not have to click on each key, because when I originally thought of an idea like this in terms of color schemes on a keyboard like this, I was thinking, oh goodness, I dread the time that I'm actually going to try to really take a chance clicking on each single key to create a color assignment to each key here, and just basically using a little bit of drag feeling as if you were just selecting a bunch of files in a folder. It's pretty easy to actually go ahead and manipulate everything here. And I'm actually almost done. So give you a little bit more hint of what I'm doing here. And there you go. Basically, do have the American flag here. It actually looks much better on the keyboard itself, so I'll definitely go ahead and show you that, so don't fret. I will definitely demonstrate that to you. And just a quick overview of the settings here, just a couple of general keyboard settings up here that everyone is familiar with. And of course some sound feedback. I can actually go ahead and demonstrate that to you right now. Just basically some clicky sounds over here. So kind of an interesting idea to do if you really want to just bother or impress people. Bunch of profile options under here, some more general settings here. In the key assignment, you can actually go ahead and assign your keys, shift thumbstick keys and whatnot. Something I actually don't do, but definitely other people will do as well. Up here is your volume control, mute button, some other keys over here, and of course the F keys, which will definitely be very important if you do plan to assign keys here. List view probably makes that much easier. You can actually use your FA key, for example, to open up your calculator right on the fly, and that's very, very useful. Key illumination, obviously, I was just here. Bunch of preset settings over here as well too, but right now I just have it on custom mode. I want to preserve this particular color scheme and just demonstrate that to you in a moment. So a lot of pretty good options here. I did actually have to update the Roccat Storm software twice. You can actually have it to auto update. You can actually see I do have that setting currently off. I actually prefer just to update my own software, just like Windows updates, whenever I can. And here's that color scheme I went ahead and set up in the software. It actually looks much better on the hardware right over here. You can actually see the stars and stripes, well, the stripes at least. I didn't actually put any stars over here, though I mean the little pieces of light colored blue that you actually see there could probably suffice as well. So very amazing combinations, very interesting stuff you can actually do in terms of color schemes, and it'll actually look pretty darn well on this, particularly with, again, the low profile keys that do allow the RGB to actually really sync out of the keyboard itself much better. And this keyboard definitely has really made a really great impression on me in terms of Roccat products. This keyboard has not let me down so far in the many weeks I've used it. One particular comment that I've actually seen that's pretty common is the worry about peeling on these keys. I've actually been a little bit nervous of having slightly longer fingernails just in case that were to actually happen. But so far so good on this keyboard, and even the 122. You can definitely check that particular video out as well too. And I haven't noticed anything going on here, or even just the slightest evidence of it even starting to happen. If you are experiencing that, please reach out to Roccat. I have heard that they will probably send you replacement keycaps or even a whole new replacement keyboard itself. So I have turned off the color scheme here just so I can go give you a quick close-up of the keyboard itself. Sorry if you see fingerprints on the keys. And there's another little note as well too. These keys are plastic, so eventually in time you will probably start having that unfortunate shiny effect that many keyboards will actually give you. Obviously there's oil on the human skin, so that'll basically just wear down the keys, so to speak. A little quick rub with you know, damp paper towel and whatnot can actually avoid or delay that from happening, but you'll probably start noticing mostly on the spacebar and of course your enter key as well too. So another little close-up right there for you. Sorry if it's a little fuzzy by any chance. That actually looks better. And amazing durability this keyboard really has. Go ahead and flip it around for you as well too. You can actually see here the options you have back here. And of course the rubber on the front as well too. When you actually do have this open up, this keyboard can potentially make a slightly irritating noise I can actually just show you right here, especially if we accidentally push this back. And that's the only small little rant I do have about that particular little goof right there. Just give you another little close-up over here of me actually clicking on the keys. These keys actually do feel very sturdy themselves. On other keyboards, particularly one particular brand that I've previously used, I can't tell you how many times the keycaps occasionally pop out, not break, but just pop out. And of course, when you do press on it, it does actually feel a little flimsy. Now there's a little bit of flex over here on these keys, but they actually don't feel flimsy whatsoever. The other keyboard, the keys on the other keyboard, I swear it feels like you're moving them around and it's going to come off and break any moment. Not a great feeling. This keyboard definitely does not give that to me. And again, when I give it a good shake, you actually don't even feel any key moving around like that. Not particularly a factor that you really want to think about or consider, but just something to bear in mind because it definitely felt like a good plus for me. So I really do have to mention again just what an amazing product this is. I don't think anyone will really be disappointed with this keyboard. It's not absolutely perfect, as I mentioned before. The software, the occasional little goof here and there, but that's basically mostly software based and hopefully can just be resolved at some point. And I do have the color scheme here put on purpose, so I didn't actually put my computer in sleep mode or anything. The LED RGB colors on this keyboard definitely really amazing, and won't let you down if that's something you're really looking at this keyboard for. So I highly still recommend this particular product, along with its counterpart, the 122 Vulcan. And I believe there's even one more color, kind of like a silver grayish color, the 120, which I've not got my hands on, but it probably looks pretty similar to this particular device here. I do plan to actually see what other functionality this keyboard can possibly offer, so maybe I even play a little bit more of the software, and I might even do a quick update video mostly on the software itself, the Roccat Swarm software, just to see what other goofy options they do have there. And useful, besides goofy, of course, I'm sure there's some useful functions as well too. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have this keyboard, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. I'm more than happy to actually hear, and I totally welcome feedback with your experience. And again, if you have any issues, just like I had here with the armrest, as I mentioned earlier, reach out to them and see what they can actually do for you. Obviously, an armrest is a very small thing. I did actually have to demonstrate a picture and whatnot to them to actually show them what I'm talking about. They seem to realize that there was an issue. So if you do have an issue, reach out to them and let's see what they can do for you. Definitely go ahead and shoot a like and subscribe if you really enjoyed this video. I will be posting more follow-up reviews as well as more reviews as the hardware comes in and I get my hands on them as well too. Thanks again for watching, and as always, stay safe. Take care, everyone.